Hello and welcome to the Watering Hole. Thanks for checking out this clip. Don't forget to like and subscribe because that'll make the baby Jesus cry, and I know how much you guys love making the baby Jesus cry. Hello, welcome to my channel. Vice Rhino here. Suris over there.
Why are things...
My microphone seems to be coming in a little hot.
Hey, it's coming.
That it is. Okay. Someone redeemed a hat. Who redeemed a hat? Artemis. Thank you, Artemis. World's okayest bisexual hat. Apparently we have a shared chat thing going on Twitch.
Yep. We do.
There
we go.
Done. Okay, yeah, it is coming through. You just said, just before we went live, you were like, God damn it, Axo. And I'm like, I don't see anything from Axo in the chat. So.
That's weird. You should see Axo saying Skibbity Ohio Riz.
I do not. I see Gideon Wells said that's so cash money. Then Jassa said that's a lot of Riz. Artemis said, God damn it, no.
Let's see, that's a lot. And then after that is when Axo said their thing. Also, Jeff Keep, thank you for resubscribing. Gideon Wells, thank you for the subscription. And an anonymous gifter, thank you for the subscription as well.
Well, I don't know what's going on with the chat. Apparently, Suris and I are streaming together today.
Yeah, basically. Pretty much. Though, it should... Like, you should be able to see both chats together now. Unless you've exited out of anything.
I might have. You want to try knocking again?
Actually, yeah, you're not in here anymore.
Okay. Knock again.
Okay. Let me go ahead and knock.
Suris is the one who knocks.
Oh, so you have to hit join. Welcome back to Stream Together. Join call.
Stream Together? No, I don't want you to use my microphone. Start shared chat.
Why does it not have me? Hold on. I'm going to hit end. And I'm going to do restart Stream Together, see what that does.
Okay.
Is it working on your end now? Because I'm not seeing you in here.
I don't know.
All right, I'm gonna hit end Stream Together and completely exit out, and then I'm gonna hit knock again. Now it says waiting for host.
Yeah, now I get the accept thing. There we go.
Okay.
It says thanks for hosting. Stream Together has ended.
Okay. Then I'm gonna
I hit restart again. And now I have to hit accept again. Start sharing chat. There we go. Now I can hear me twice.
Yeah, you've got to mute. There we go.
Hello?
There we go. Things are muted now.
Things are muted now. Okay.
All right.
So first time using a new thing. And we have a hype train.
Now we've got a shared chat, and we have a shared hype train. Everything is going swimmingly.
Swimmingly.
Yep.
Indeed. Bad choice of words for Loki the Tired Trickster.
My bathroom just flooded, not just from the plumbing, but rain came through a closed window.
That sounds swimming.
That sounds horrible, and I know how you feel, because my foundation is currently separating from my wall for water damage too. I'm there with you, and I hate it.
Okay, my shared chat thing is telling me that I need to contribute in order to level up the thing, so my 10 viewers need to do something. Do something!
Give money on Vice Rhino's Twitch. Do it. Oh, give him funds.
There we go. Clueless Expert gave out 5 community subs. Thank you for that, Clueless Expert. Axo's chanting Mpreg, Mpreg. I don't know why, but that tracks. That does track with what I know about Axo.
Oh dear, that's awful. Jesus Christ.
Ooh.
Jump Point, thank you for gifting out 5 community subs on my end. I appreciate it.
Oh, this is the hype train's trying to get us all competitive, so like I have contributed 64% to the hype train.
Oh, whoa.
Apparently, according to the thing.
according to the thing.
Yeah.
I don't
Weird.
see the percentages on my end.
Oh, I'm in the stream manager on the Twitch thing because I don't know how to do any of this shit except for on the fucking website that I... Okay.
There we go. I see it. It shows... So that's not saying that you've got 64%. That says we're 64% of the way through the level 3 hype train.
Oh, well, earlier it had, like, you had, like, 36% and I had 64% or something like that.
Okay, so that...
So, like, it actually did split it up?
Yeah, see, now that's a lie, because I'm at 62% and you're at 38%.
Ah, okay. Well, my 10 people need to step up their game.
Look, Elon Musk has proven that you can be a few people and still have more money than a bunch of other people. It doesn't mean anything. The numbers are all made up anyway. He liquidates a few assets and suddenly he's got money.
Yeah. Yep, indeedy. So how's it going?
I'm tired. I feel like I haven't actually gotten a chance to, like, properly slow down since I left for Florida, and I'm still just kind of going, and things keep on happening, and I'm not thrilled about it. After coming back, the check engine light in my car went on, so that's currently in the shop. So we'll see what's going on with that. It's going to cost like $100 for the diagnostic, apparently. That's weird, but I guess I don't have the expertise and they do, so whatever. I did mention the thing about the house flooding again. That's just fantastic. Or not flooding, more one of our air conditioning units fucked up and it started leaking water everywhere, and it was while we were gone.
So it continued leaking forever.
So it continued leaking for days. So that's great. I need to get my central air fixed. I really do. We won't need as many of these window units if we have central air fixed. I just can't afford that either. So that's where I'm at right now. Yeah. And then, of course, things are still happening in the political world. I wake up and every day is a new set of horrors. Yeah. But, I think that's pretty much how things are going.
One of my kids is graduating from grade 8 this year. And okay. They give tickets to the graduation. He's got like 6 tickets or something like that. And he invited the mother of one of his friends. And then, like, a couple days ago, he asked me, like, so when can we have her over to give her the ticket? And I was like, okay, well, no. She lives, like, 20 minutes away from us. We will just meet her at the door at the place where the party is and give her the ticket there.
Mm-hmm.
And didn't she show up on our doorstep today being like, so where's my ticket? And like, well, here's your ticket, but I thought we were going to meet outside the door. She was like, oh, that would have been really convenient for me. Mm-hmm.
So like, somebody didn't give information to somebody else.
No. He texted her telling her that she needed to come and get the ticket.
Uh-huh.
Is the friend not in the same grade? No, friend's at a different school. So it's a different thing. And this is a friend who, she strikes me as the kind of person who wanted to have a lot of children but didn't. Because like all of the kids that ever go over to her house that I have seen, she like mothers them. Like she's the only one of my kids' friends who like tells them I love you. No, Silly Kid did not screw up. Silly Kid was being sneaky. Because he wanted her to come over and visit.
I see.
Apparently Suris owes some ooh-oos.
Apparently I do. I didn't want to interrupt the story, but apparently Clueless Expert dropped $200 on the stream. And I know exactly where that's going because Clueless Expert has already told me where that money is going as of yesterday. That's going to car repairs. But, yes, that does mean that I do owe not 1, but 2 of those stupid fucking things.
Well, we're waiting.
I had a sneeze. Do you want me to do that in your ear?
Excuses.
That's not a no. I don't know what weird shit you're into. Fine. Ooh. There, you got half of what you earned. Do I have to do the other half?
Yeah.
I don't.
I will sit here staring awkwardly at the camera until you do.
That
I will go get my sunglasses and put on the character that I introduced the stream with yesterday if you don't do the second one.
I don't know which is worse. Now I'm curious, though.
About what? Whether or not I can actually do that, or whether, if the 6 slang words that I used are the only ones I know.
There's a lot of
There's only so many times I can say Skibbity Ohio.
There's a lot of questions I have, but fine.
Ooh,
There we go.
There.
ooh, ooh, ooh.
Fucking
God
damn it. Jepatique says, Suris, why is your house a crumbling mess? I don't know. I'm tired. Ohio doesn't exist. It's a government lie.
Just
Look,
like Finland.
Stuff. It's just the fucking yogurt episode of Love, Death, and Robots. Give me Ohio. We need to find a sentient yogurt, and we need to give it Ohio. The prophecies foretold it.
I know more slang words, it's just most of them are in Canadian and French. Yeah, I don't know the kids' slang words.
I think... Did you just say Canadian as if it was a different language?
Do to boot it.
That's called a dialect, you rube!
What's the difference between a dialect and a different language?
The difference between a dialect and a different language is how far away from Germanic we've walked.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's the difference between macro and microevolution. It's just
Time.
It's the same. It's the same. It's an arbitrary difference, is my point. Because like there are people that speak English ostensibly that I do not understand.
Yeah, that's true.
And so, like,
A language is a dialect with an army and a navy?
sometimes more than one. There are multiple countries that have those things that speak English.
Axo says, tell me right now what a bunny hug is. Like a hoodie?
I don't know. There was a thing that I read a few years ago. I might have the details wrong because it's been a while, but apparently the dialect of English that is spoken in the southern United States, about where you're located, like the yokel accent that we all associate with unintelligence and whatnot, apparently that is probably closer to what British English sounded like before the Americas were colonized than British English today.
Huh. Does that mean that every movie about 1776, everybody should have sounded like they were in a fucking John Wayne flick?
Yes. So, like, anytime you have one of those movies that's set in England in the Middle Ages, and they're all speaking like posh British accents, replace the posh British accent with Foghorn Leghorn, and that's probably closer to reality.
I say, King Henry, I said I say!
Yeah.
We killed the natives on this land, King! It's ours! That explains why... Oh, that explains the Boston Tea Party. It's always been racist rednecks from the top down. It never stopped being that.
Just picturing someone with a thick Boston accent arguing with someone with a thick yokel accent, but they're from England. What the fuck do you expect me to do with all this tea, goddammit? I don't know. I can't do Boston. I can't do accents.
If I tried to do a Boston accent, it's just going to come out like a Brooklyn accent. And if I try to do a Brooklyn accent, it's just going to make me sound like Joey Wheeler from Yu-Gi-Oh! Which isn't very convincing. It's very stereotypical and bad.
But also, speaking of movies using British accents set in the Middle Ages or whatever, have you ever noticed that anytime there's a movie that is set in like France in that time period, but they're speaking English, they're always speaking English with a British accent. Why is that? Like, we're already not speaking the language that they would have been speaking there, so why do you have to try for the accents?
Because I think that most people's idea of a French accent is putting at the end of everything.
Actually, probably my favorite example of that is Man in the Iron Mask, because they're so inconsistent with the accents in that movie. It's just hilarious. Because, like, most of the cast are speaking with a British accent, but then you have D'Artagnan. No, it's not D'Artagnan. It's I forget which musketeer it is, but he's played by an actual legit Frenchman, and he's put on this ridiculous, like, it's not his actual accent. He put on an over-the-top French accent. But then we also have John Malkovich in there with his very, very American accent. So, like, we've got the French guy calling, like, D'Artagnan is what I remember, because that's the name that it's most striking with, because you have the French guy being like, D'Artagnan! And then you have John Malkovich going, D'Artagnan. And yes, Leonardo DiCaprio is in there, and no, he does not speak with a British accent. He just has his normal American accent, but it is not as noticeable as John Malkovich's.
Sylvie says, why do we hate France again? So I'm going to go ahead and put on a conspiracy theory cap and say that if we acknowledged France and the things it's done, the United States could no longer claim that it beat Britain in the war. It was
the United States would not exist without France.
Like,
there is no United States without France saving their asses in the American Revolution.
So I think that's the, like, I don't think that's the reason that we have a whole bunch of, like, anti-French jokes about, you will never won a single war except the one against yourselves. Like, I think the only reason that we have those jokes is we refuse to acknowledge that we'd all be dead without, or we wouldn't exist without them.
Yeah, and, like, everybody makes fun of France for surrendering too easily or whatever, but, like, the United States hasn't won a war since World War II. And they've been in a lot.
So I had this argument with a friend of mine.
And even then, arguably, the United States did not win that war.
We entered that war 5 years late.
Yeah.
So, like, I had this argument with a friend about how the United States would not do very well in another major conflict. And he started, like, especially against Canada was my main one. Because y'all fetishize war crimes. It's weird. So, I don't know why you're staring at me. You guys burned down the White House. You got a history. Don't even. So,
my mother was actually in the Legion that it's the same Legion that burned down the White House.
Huh. So, I was talking about that, and the dude's just sitting there going like, we invented modern warfare. Then why the fuck do we suck at it? What? I'm sorry, but
I mean, to be fair,
how
France,
long were we camped in Afghanistan?
To be fair, if we go back to the Middle Ages again, France took like 300 years to figure out that guys with bows and arrows were much more efficient for winning battles than knights in shining armor.
Yeah?
They lost so many battles that was like 500 guys versus 2,000 of their best knights, because the 500 guys had bows and arrows so they could get them from a distance.
Fair. Davinia Robin says, when was the White House burned down?
Agincourt? Yeah, that's one of I think the White House was actually burnt down in 1814. But yes, the War of 1812.
Vanek says, isn't Paris like 50% bed bugs?
I hope not.
At that point, I think they'd be used to flavor the bread.
Okay, we should probably actually get to the news articles that I brought with me today.
Should we?
Okay, well, I mean, we could talk about the assassination because that's not in an article, but it's going to be hanging over a lot of us.
Yeah, we do kind of have to talk about that. So, all right. The assassination in Minnesota?
Wherever Waltz is governor.
You know what? We're just going to do the thing where U.S. assassination. There we go. Because my brain is fried. Minnesota. So, there were 4 victims during all of this. 2 of them survived.
5 victims. Don't forget
5
the golden
victims?
retriever.
You know what? You're right. I was only assuming the humans. That was my bad. But, so, here's how that all played out for me. I woke up the day of the military parade in Washington, D.C., just kind of anxious about what I was going to go do. It ended up not being anywhere near as dangerous as I thought it was going to be, but still. And then I just hear on the radio as I go down from the friend's house that I'm in, the radio is just playing information about the assassination. And my friend's husband just kind of looks at me and goes, so you know an assassination just happened, right? And I'm just sitting there like, I woke up 5 minutes. What? What are you talking about? So, apparently, a 57-year-old Minnesota man, which we now have all the information on him. He's been captured, all that fun stuff. Mm-hmm. But he ended up killing 2 politicians and the partners of those politicians in Minnesota. All of the victims were Democrats. Mm-hmm. And there was a bit of time during this where on the radio they started talking about, well, the left has a history of violence, and we don't really know what the affiliations of this person was. And then we found out that he was a former Tim Walz appointee. But he was a Tim Walz appointee because he was part of the administration before Tim Walz took office. So he was more of a grandfathered in person, and every single belief this person seemed to have was not a classically left-wing belief.
Wasn't he an evangelical preacher?
I did not get any information on that one. I did not. But the deceased were State Representative Melissa Hortman and her husband Mark. They were killed in the assassination. And then State Senator John Hoffman and his wife Yvette were severely injured during this, but they ended up surviving. They were in and out of surgery in like 3 hours, I think is what it was. Default says he was preaching. Oh, right. Yeah, he did preaching overseas. He would go to like the West Bank and preach how like violence against Israel was bad. Actually, that was the shit that he would do. So this is a wild thing to wake up to, and a thing to note is that in the Congress in Minnesota, I believe the Democrats actually had like a 1-seat majority in their local Congress. So this effectively evened out their political lines. I don't know if that was part of the motivation, but that is an end result of it, which is not great.
Yeah.
And the loss of life as well. Like,
yeah, and then there were Republican lawmakers tweeting out horrible things in response to this. Like, I think it was Mike Scott. I don't know. I forget his name, but like one of the congressmen posted a bunch of shit about how like, oh, this is clearly a left-wing dirtbag, Marxist, socialist. Mike Lee, that's the one. Basically accused him of being on the left. And Marjorie Taylor Greene, immediately after it happened, posted out just a picture of her with what appeared to be a sniper rifle. So it's one of those things where it's like,
I wonder what message they're trying to send, huh?
It's one of those things where like I could see me responding, like if Trump got assassinated, I could absolutely see me making jokes about it and absolutely being happy about it. However, I am not a congressional representative. I recognize that that is not the appropriate behavior for someone in government.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I am a guy who makes dick jokes on the internet for a living. The standard of behavior is a bit different between me and elected representatives.
Also, what happens when those two see each other at a water cooler?
Well, Mike Lee was confronted by another representative who like actually knew the victims, and he basically turned into a dog with its tail in between its legs, and also he deleted all the tweets. Amusingly, one of them was like being like, "Oh well, when it comes out that this person is a leftist extremist, expect to hear nothing but silence from all the Democrats."
And then of course, that's not what comes out.
Turned out to be a Republican extremist, and he deleted that tweet and has not, to my knowledge, posted anything condemning the political violence or anything. It's just been silence.
I wonder if we should, continue to have people in office who act like that. I wonder what the correct response is to people in office who act that way about violence towards their peers. I wonder what the appropriate response is to people who obviously do not think that violence is that big a deal.
Oh, well, I think the appropriate response is to...
Yeah, you know what? That was far more creative than I would have been in the same situation, but, I like the thing you decided to do with the earlobe.
The earlobe?
Yeah. Did you already forget what you said to like?
Maybe I don't. No, I'm just bad at improv. Sorry, I'm sorry. I no-handed you.
It was your joke. It was your joke.
I actually don't even know. Did the censor beep come through?
Yes, it did. The whole time.
Okay, good. Because it did not. I didn't hear it myself, so I was just like, I hope that actually landed.
Yeah, it landed. I tried to continue the joke a little bit, like air traffic control, and then you decided to just ram a fucking helicopter into my plane. I just murdered
it. Yeah, You know what I did to that joke? That's what I did to that joke.
That one was disgusting. Never, ever again.
Okay. I want more beeping ASMR content from Rhino. Yeah, that's the spot.
Dorito Dave says, explain to Rhino what yes and is.
I know what yes and is, I just don't practice it.
Jesus Christ. I'm glad we can at least have a little bit of levity in a world where we are seeing an increasingly violent America. Yay.
Yeah.
Well, of course, he's not going to be talking about the fucking parade after a week either.
Did you hear there was a I don't know if it was a hot mic or if it was just a there was a moment where he was with Prime Minister Carney at the G7 summit, where he was talking to him about the parade, and he was like, "Oh, it was a beautiful parade. They said it was going to rain, but it didn't rain." And that was like that was the best positive spin that he could think to put on it.
He said, so even if it had rained, they started the parade early just to make sure that it would be able to happen irrespective of the rain. Like, they panicked so much about that they started it a little over an hour early, because I remember hearing about that live while I was in the line trying to get to the front of the parade. But apparently tripods are really scary for the United States military, so yeah, that didn't happen. Turns out I would have been kicked out not just for the tripod, but also my backpack. Apparently you weren't allowed to have a backpack if it was more than 7 inches deep.
Really?
And more than 18 inches tall. So that nixes my camera bag too. I looked online and found all like the contraband that they ended up saying you weren't allowed to have, and a backpack that's basically longer than your forearm is considered contraband, apparently. I'm just trying to figure out what the United States military is scared of when they've got 100 fucking check-in stations, all of them with metal detectors and military personnel, and tanks. I'm just trying to figure out what was going to be in my bag at that point. That the tanks
just so
weren't
everybody
going to
knows,
stop.
just so everybody knows what kind of a person I am. In a group chat that Suris and I are both in, when Suris posted about going to the parade, everybody else in the group chat was like, "Suris, be safe out there." And then I was down there being like, "Do a Tiananmen Square."
No, what you did is you said you have the chance to do something epic, and then you sent a Tiananmen Square GIF.
Yes,
which is the delivery on that is a little more on the nose.
I would have loved that.
So it turns out I couldn't have done it anyway. Like, even if I had made it through, the security on the actual path was way, way thick. Like, there would have been no opportunity to do that. Even getting... So, like, my idea of a parade is like Mardi Gras, where everybody gets access to it, and you get to just kind of be there. Like, that's what I thought this was going to be. So, why the fuck would I look at a fucking contraband list? That doesn't make any goddamn sense. They have tanks! Anyway, That's my idea of, like, a celebratory parade. I was not aware that there was going to be so many goddamn layers of condom just so that Trump didn't have to worry about just having a try-to the last time that he showed his face in public doing a big speech without all of the security measures from God.
Mm-hmm.
Look, I can at least take up Stoff's time because Stoff technically owes me 5 commissions right now. I sent Stoff a Nintendo Switch.
Does this count as a commission? One of the old ones or Switch 2?
Old ones. I had 2 Switches because I got a replacement for mine because my old one didn't work in portable mode very well. It mostly only worked when it was docked. So I don't use that Switch anymore. So when Stoff was like, "I'm looking for a Switch," like, thank you for mentioning that. I'm shipping you a Switch. I don't need this thing.
Yeah, no, we have too many Switches in this house.
Yeah, one of them is on the other side of the screen.
Sure. I'm not a very good Switch, though.
Bad at the doming or bad at the subbing?
We can turn this into a TMI stream?
I mean, you don't even have to actually, like, go into NSFW. You just...
I didn't say NSFW. I said TMI.
Again, 6 dozen in one, half of something in the other. I don't know. But that said, I don't really care which one. I'm just curious.
My partner and I both have submissive tendencies.
Oh, okay. So you get to do the thing where you stare at each other and go, "Oh, but are you going to wiggle it?"
Which one's going to pounce on the other?
And the pouncing never happens. It's more like
she just
awkward...
got home. I just heard her walk in the door, and she's got our stream playing. So, hi, honey. Okay.
Perfect.
Hi. She's smirking at me. Fennec says, "Label the soundboard." Oh my god. Yeah, so here's the thing about that is my audio setup is fucked. Like, royally fucked. When I moved, I have... So remember a couple weeks ago when you were complaining about my buzzing microphone?
Yes.
Yeah, so the way I fixed that was to plug my microphone into my PodTrack Zoom P8, which is an audio interface thing, and then have the monitor output from that go into the 3.5 millimeter microphone jack of the Go XLR, which then goes to the stream. Because the thing is, I like the Go XLR for audio routing. So, like, it shows up in Windows as, like, 4 different audio devices. So, like, I can have music playing in my headphones that you guys don't hear. because the Go XLR routes it to my headphones, but not to the stream. And there's all sorts of fun stuff that you can do with the routing feature in the Go XLR. And I've not found anything, and believe me, I've not found anything that can replace it that is even remotely close to what this thing can do. Unfortunately, the Go XLR has been discontinued and they're no longer good doing software updates for it. So it's going to break at some point. And I will be sad when that happens. But because I like the way that it does the audio routing, I'm not willing to give it up as my main interface device. But that means that in order to have my microphone working, because apparently I was getting all that buzz when I had the XLR plugged into the Go XLR, I now have my microphone plugged into a Zoom audio interface, which is then plugged into the Go XLR, which then goes to the computer, and it's all kinds of messed up.
I mean...
And what's that have to do with writing this button makes womp womp noise? It's because that's one of the default sounds on the Zoom pod track that my microphone is plugged into now, but because I haven't been using that for ages, it doesn't even occur to me that that is an option for soundboard stuff. It's the Go XLR soundboard, because that's where I can do the custom ones like that. I can...
And also...
You fucking ooh slut.
Did you record yourself saying the slut
No,
part too?
You know what? I don't always listen to the oohs that Piper sends me before I throw them on the soundboard, so I feel like that's just a new one that was longer than usual.
Fair enough.
So yeah, I didn't know that was there. But yeah, because I'm used to where everything is on the Go XLR, I can find the ooh button, but I don't know which buttons do what on the pod track, but I did know that one of them was the sad trombone.
Well, you almost got to the sad wall noises. I don't know how far away from the sad wall noises you were, but we'll go with almost. Hey, there it is.
There we go. Sad wall. I hope you have enjoyed this behind-the-scenes clusterfuck.
Maybe.
So Lord of Uzkalak says, sped up, Jimmy talks almost as fast as Ben Shapiro. So on the subject of talking fast, I have said a few times that the fact that, like, because I hate listening to myself, that has caused me to talk faster over the years. Because when I'm listening to my videos or whatever, I'm listening to it on 2 times speed, because I don't want to hear what I say at normal speed. Like, hurry up and get this idiot out of here. So I listen to myself on 2 times speed, which then when I'm presenting, I'm trying to, I subconsciously, I'm like trying to match what I hear when I'm watching my videos. So I speak faster to try and match what I'm used to hearing. And this has been a hypothesis of mine that has been largely unfounded. But since I've started doing Meathead Mondays, which is where I re-record an older video of mine when I just use the Rhino avatar, but I do it with my meaty head on camera. I've confirmed that I do indeed speak faster, because every time, like, when I drag like the new, I'll open up my old project file and drag the new clip to replace the audio clip that I used before. It's shorter every time. So I do indeed speak faster. And I actually just recently got a comment from someone being like, hey, I understand you're enthused about this subject, but I find it hard to understand without slowing you down, so could you just talk a little slower? I'm like, I probably should. But yeah, it is what it is.
Fair. Laura Schmidt says, Suris, why are you inspecting your cleavage? Because I got a really long YouTube comment from somebody who's angry at me that I went to DC.
Counterpoint. If I had cleavage, I'd be inspecting it all the time.
Fair enough.
I like boobs. Boobs are nice. Can we pause? I need a bio break. Oh, I was just about to say, like, yeah, you can pause the stream and then, like, watch it on 2 times speed to catch up, but that's a YouTube thing. You can't do that on Twitch, I guess. I don't know how Twitch works. Anyway, that's all I have to say about that. Bonus, this isn't really a news item. But I stumbled across this thread on Blue Sky, which was amazing. It's a whole thread of Christi Noem as porta potties. So there she is in a green outfit matching the porta potties. There she is in a pink and white outfit matching the pink and white porta potties. Blue one, and it's just
What?
I don't know.
I'm just curious. What kind of what flavor of autism is this?
I don't know, but I love it. It's a beautiful thing.
Huh.
And it's
Lenari says,
there's
"Oh
so
yeah,
many of them.
how's her anaphylactic shot treating her? Is she out of the hospital?"
I hope not. I mean, wishing her thoughts and prayers. Thoughts and prayers. That's what I mean. But yeah, it's just a whole thread of her being compared to porta potties, and I love it. I'm here for it.
He is a porta potty.
It is befitting. Okay. I have to pee. I'll be back.
Okay. I guess we're just going to sit here while you pee, staring at Christi Noem as a person who people pee in. I can't hear a word you're saying, and it's glorious.
Looking at Christi Noem made me have to pee.
I don't know what to take from that. I don't know if I want to take anything from that. Can I not? Mirlana says she's not a porta potty. Porta potties contain shit. Yeah, Mirlana, are you saying that Christi Noem is not herself full of shit? Are you not willing to die on the hill that this woman is full of shit? I'm willing to do that. Like, I'm willing to just say it outright. I think the woman's full of shit, and that's what you get when you're a porta potty. You're just kind of full of shit. Jeff Keefe, thank you for redeeming your points for an ada. You fucking degen. Justin says she is the shit. Okay, but would you say that a porta potty consumes shit? Because I would say a porta potty consumes shit. And if a porta potty consumes shit, then you would say that it's eating the shit. If you agree with the statement that you are what you eat, then that means Christi Noem is shit. If she is a porta potty that consumes shit. So, yeah. Lenari says porta potties can leak. I don't want to think about Christi Noem leaking. There's probably somebody with that in their Google history, and I don't want to meet that person. That person scares me. And if you are that person, don't tell me. Silly Shinobi says, ew. Sombrina says, I would goon on her. Threesome with Marjorie Taylor Greene.
I came back at the wrong time. What the fuck?
What part did you come back to?
I put on my headphones and I heard threesome with Marjorie Taylor Greene. And I was, you know what? I was feeling bad because I'm like, as I was standing at the toilet peeing, I'm like, I'm not sure how far I stood up. You guys might have all seen that I'm not wearing pants right now. And then I come back to that. I'm like, nope, I don't feel guilty anymore. You got what you deserved.
Yeah, no, thank you for following, Mikey, but I was just reading chat, and Sombrina said that I would goon on her. Threesome with Marjorie Taylor Greene, or what's her name from Fox News, and then never call them back. Sombrina's, maybe it's the Demi in me, but I could not. I couldn't bring myself to.
Yeah, no, there's... I think we've talked about this before, how there was... I once came across a porn. Yes, I recognize the language I use there. I came across porn at where they, like, it was one of those ones where they're like leading into it, they're actually like just having a casual chat to get to know the actors and whatever, and it wasn't scripted. It was just kind of like off the cuff stuff. And one of the women was like, "Oh, I think Andrew Tate makes some good points," and I was like, I am now immediately not attracted to you anymore. Goodbye.
Yeah, like boner be gone.
Yeah, like there are some like doesn't matter how attractive you are physically, if you have certain beliefs or ideas or whatever, then it's just like, nope, I can't, nope, it's just not my thing.
Yeah, I just Do I think that I could find somebody who is a heinous individual attractive? Yeah, probably in fiction. But like the minute that it's somebody who's saying something that I don't know would lead to losing medication for my partner, as an example, just a very common one that, you know, might have had a Supreme Court ruling today. Anyway, like if it's something like that, it's really hard for me to think.
No, it's not really hard. That's the problem.
It's really flaccid for me to think. It's really flaccid. I get really flaccid at that point.
Mm-hmm.
I can't consider myself attracted to that person, and just like I don't think I could even muster a hate fuck at that point.
Nope. It's just nope the fuck out of there. Absolutely not. Anyway, moving on to the tweets. Oh, I should probably mention Piper. You can put the porta potties in the off-topic discussion things. It doesn't need a video of its own.
I don't know what Guitar Rocker is going to do with this. I guess we'll find out.
Yeah.